Hey everybody, I'm going to show my progress here in a little bit, kind of a day-by-day journal of what happened. But before I do, there's something I need to mention. I will be speaking in code a little bit. The reason why is because YouTube and their algorithms, essentially anytime you upload a video, it will scan the video for keywords. And if it doesn't like some of those keywords, if the YouTube staff put things in there that was basically blacklisted, that video will basically be demonetized. It won't show up in recommends. It'll basically be dead on arrival. So I'm going to speak in code a little bit. You'll understand what I'm saying because there's so much that's been in the current atmosphere in relation to what's been going on the last couple of years. I'm pretty sure you'll get it. So I'm going to refer to the stuff that's been floating around, making people's temperatures rise and end up in the hospital for some people. I'll call that the gremlin. And then I'm a child of the 80s. That was the first thing that came to mind. I don't know what to tell you.
Oh boy.
And as far as the thing, that goes in your arm that is supposed to prevent you from getting gremlins, I'll just call that needle or needles. Okay, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to talk about some of my family members and their reactions to this. What I'm basically trying to do with this video is I don't want to make this like a political piece or anything like that. I feel like most people have already kind of chosen sides. And for those who are still on the fence, which I think is in the minority, I hope this video will help people like that. People who want to have a civil conversation and want to gather as much information as possible still, even in, past year two of this going on. I just feel like if I mentioned anything like, and I have questions and concerns like I think most people do, but if I mention anything one way or the other, I think people are so on edge right now in regards to this, and I don't feel like that will do any good. So I just want to tell you the facts, like what happened with our family, what's happened with other family members, and I'm not going to use their names as far as extended family is concerned, just because I didn't ask, they didn't give my permission. Not that they wouldn't give me permission, I want to be careful. But basically I need to start back when one of my siblings got sick and they ended up in the ER and they were not needled. Reason being is a few years ago, they had a really bad experience with just a regular, regularly scheduled needling. They were taking their kid in for their regular stuff, and their child had a very bad reaction. Basically ended up in like a semi-coma, kind of like a seizure type state for a couple days. Really screwed them up. And so she was afraid of getting her kids any type of other needles in the future. And so they didn't. And she got really, really sick. Now, I have another sibling who had kind of a similar thing happen, but basically once they found out that all this stuff was going around, they just kind of sat on the fence for a while. And our family did as well, because we wanted to have more information before we committed to anything. And finally, my niece, she decided to, get the needle, and she ended up in the emergency room 6 hours later on life support and had a very, very bad reaction to it. And that wasn't our experience. Brittany and I and Ian all got needled, fully needled, as it were. And that was after a while of doing our own research and everything. And we still weren't, like 100% positive on that. Anyway, I'm telling you this to try to get you as much information as possible, different experiences, because I think another family member, when they found out that my niece ended up in the ER, they basically said, bull, like that didn't happen, because they were so one-sided in their opinions and everything like that. So yeah, and I know I'm not trying to make this political or anything like that. I'm just trying to paint as big a picture as possible that everyone had different reactions to this. And we certainly did too. And what's really interesting is both Brittany and I, even though we were fully needled, we think it's the Delta Airlines version, if you know what I mean. We think that we had that version based on our symptoms. Ian didn't get anything, so it worked for him. So 1 out of 3, all right? And then my siblings' reactions, both those who didn't take it and those who did. And yeah, it's kind of all over the place. And that's one of the most frustrating things is it just depends, really. It just depends on the person, depends on the family, it depends on their health history, their personal history, their genetic makeup, all these other factors. And everyone's at each other's throats. Like, you're either in this camp or in this camp. And I don't feel it's that simple. And that was kind of our experience with this whole thing. So I want to walk you through that. Also, as I show the progress throughout the last couple weeks, I'm mainly going to focus on me because I probably had it the worst, along with Brittany. But she didn't really want to be on camera all that much while she was sick. She's behind camera right now. Is that a fair statement?
It was pretty disgusting. I get bronchitis. Okay. I get bronchitis every year.
Yeah, we'll mainly focus on me. The kids, like I said, Ian didn't get anything. Connor and Alistair did, and Alistair recovered quickly. I want to say it was like in 4 or 5 days.
Then they caught another cold or flu.
Well, that's beside. They got something after the fact, but it wasn't related to the gremlins. Anyway, he recovered, I want to say, in like 4 or 5 days from beginning to end. And Connor, I want to say, took about a week and a half. Brittany and I, it took us a good solid couple weeks before we started getting better. Also, now having been through this, like, how bad was it? I want to say that as far as upper respiratory stuff that you can catch, this was probably the third worst I've had. I'll mention the first worst in the progress, but second worst was probably when I was living in Arkansas and I had stuff in my lungs for a couple months, and that was really, really miserable. It just took a really long time. So yeah, this is probably the third worst I've ever had. And I guess it just varies from person to person how bad it's going to be. But I do think it is something to take seriously. How seriously? I mean, again, that gets into the whole debate thing, like how far government should take things versus how liberal they are with things. Like, that's highly contested right now, and I'm not going to get into that. Real quick, we are going to mention Brittany and how she dealt with it.
Well, we got the needles, so we didn't really worry for a long time. Like, a couple of years is a long time to be in, dread of something. And the gremlin of unspecified origins didn't seem to hit us, so we thought we were good. And then, like, a few days before New Year's Eve, Connor fell sick, and like dominoes, we all went down. And
Connor got it first, then me, then you, then Alistair.
And who knows where it came from? I mean, it really doesn't matter. It's so infectious. But for me, I get bronchitis every year. It runs in my family. I've had family members die of pneumonia, and at first it wasn't terrible. It was just kind of miserable. You got the fever, you got the chills, you got the racking cough, and then junk in your chest, and the loss of taste, and dryness and everything. But there were a couple days. I remember one like really early morning where I almost thought of waking up Robin, telling him to take me to the ER because I just couldn't breathe. It felt like an elephant sitting on my chest. And in hindsight, maybe I should have gone. I don't know. I just I took a hot shower, let the hot air open me up. I took some Broncaid, which is kind of like an ephedra, asthma thing, and that helped. That pretty much saved me right there. But yeah, it was pretty miserable. It was three weeks. I'm not over it yet. My voice is still hoarse and I'm still coughing up stuff.
Yeah, we still have residual stuff. I don't think we're contagious, just residual.
Well, we've still been keeping it very safe. We had a lot of family members helping us out by bringing food and, doing nice things. But yeah, I wouldn't want anyone to get it, but I do agree with Robin that it affects everyone differently.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are going to get this, especially based on the lines that I saw. Like, when I went, it was like a quarter-mile long line worth of cars, and then we went, about 3 weeks later just to check. We were driving by, and it was like a mile long.
Well, according to the most recent news, they say if you're getting the symptoms, just assume that you've got it. Don't go get tested. Just quarantine yourself or whatever.
Yeah, because so many people are going to get it. Okay, without further ado, now we're going to get into the progress.
Okay.
This is day 2, and this is how I sound. I don't feel very good.
Hey everybody, it's about 5 a.m. in the morning. I woke up about an hour ago. This is day 4, by the way. Woke up not able to breathe. My throat was just completely seized up.
And so it woke me up. And then I went to the restroom to get some water to drink and then put one of those in my mouth. So I'm fine now. So things have gotten worse, but it's not the worst I've had in my life. The worst I had in my life when I was a teenager, I woke up not breathing, and I had a mucus plug that was so bad that it was basically choking me to death. And so I woke up, ran across the hall to my mom's room, started banging on the door, and she, of course, was distraught because I woke her up in the middle of the night, and she just had no idea what was going on. I was just like, put this down. I was just like pointing, and I'm like, you know, basically motioning to her that I was choking. And she was really scared. But I started to see stars. I was blacking out. So my instinct was to run out to the front of the house, open the door to try to get some fresh air outside. And it was winter at the time. And then I pretty much blacked out. I keeled over and I hit the stairs, but my stomach hit the stairs. I fell forward like that, and my stomach hit the stairs, and it basically was like a self-Heimlich maneuver on accident. And it released the plug that was in my throat. And fortunately, I mean, that was the closest I came to dying. Like, I was just blacking out, and it was really scary. That was worse. This is still pretty bad. Ian is not taking any chances. Breathing in some humidifier. Yeah. I promise I sound a lot worse than I am. Hey everybody, day 5. You can hear my voice is clearing up a little bit, so that's good. I did have a really bad headache last night. Might have been just all the stress and the sickness kind of combined. Fatigue, you know. But I'm starting to sound better, so that's a good sign, right? Okay, here are my sickies. Both of them have a fever at around 100 degrees, but it's not holding them back from having fun. And we're in isolation. That's the word I'll use. We're in isolation right now. So Connor, you had a temperature of 103, right?
Yeah,
The other day?
pretty much.
You feel roasting hot?
Well, yesterday I did.
Yeah. We got the humidifiers going. These have been helping a lot. I'm still coughing, buddy. Hey everybody, it's day 6. My throat's, I guess, sounding a little worse. Yeah, I had like the worst neck ache of my life last night. It just kind of came out of nowhere. Other people in our family have been complaining about muscle cramps. I had 2 really bad cramps in my back, a Charlie horse in my foot. I looked into it, and apparently clotting can feel like cramps. Doesn't mean I have clots, just it's something we're watching out for. But there hasn't been any redness, and it hasn't lasted. Eventually they go away. They're just really painful Charlie horses. That's something I wasn't expecting to happen with this gremlin. Ian's not sick yet.
No.
I'm impressed. You're around sickies. I mean, you can hear sicky.
Let me try.
Sorry for it. She's like, I'm out. She doesn't want to be seen while she's sick. We're all sick except Ian. He's held out. I'm very impressed.
So, when I was trying to give Connor all water, there's Connor or I was touching each other's hands.
And did you wash your hands?
I washed my hands,
Yeah.
like whatever time.
Oh, that's why. That's why you're not getting sick right there. Boom. No, I was looking at his shirt.
Yeah.
Just being silly. So I lost my sense of taste.
Yeah, I'm losing mine too.
Yeah, Brittany's losing her sense of taste. That's not cool. I guess we could just eat a bunch of health food from now on. Lose tons of weight. There's that. Alistair, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good.
You feel good?
I'm better.
You're better. He's so cute. He's always the optimist. It's day 6 here. He's just like,
you know, the other day, 102 temperature, you know, coughing and just being sick. And he's like, I'm better. I'm ready to play. I'm better. You know, kids don't care about this stuff. They could cough up a lung and they'd be like, I'm ready to go play fort. I'm going to have an adventure. I love that about Alistair. He's such an optimist. Yeah. How are you doing?
Not great.
Not great. Yeah.
Just even doing this just tires me out.
Yeah. And you don't have to, but she wants to.
I'm so tired of it being messy.
Yeah. So I took out the trash and I'm like, we get little small doses of energy, little small doses now. At least we're moving, we're up and around, we're active. Wasn't that way like a couple days ago. We were just in bed feeling miserable. So if anyone's wondering like why I didn't get others tested, I don't really see a need. We all have the same symptoms. So if we all have the same exact symptoms, including the very specific one to the gremlin, which is no taste, no smell, I don't see a need to test everybody. I mean, I'm the monkey in the middle. If I get tested and I have it, then I think everyone has it, except for Ian. Ian still does not have it.
Except for
You can see he's feeling better.
you could see a hand on your face.
All right, it's been a week, 7 days. How we all doing?
Last night was hard.
I'm fine.
Yeah. Ian has avoided this whole thing miraculously. I think it's wonderful. It could have been that he had the needles.
What up, guys? Thanks for watching this
And
video.
Alistair, he is undeterred. Nothing will get him down. He's still not feeling the best, but he keeps like, I'm better, and he has a fever and everything. Hey, Connor. How you feeling? You've been having it the worst, huh?
Because I accidentally got sick and then I made everyone sick.
It's okay. It's not your fault. It's very hard to fight an invisible enemy.
Guess what?
It's like trying to find a ghost.
Oh, and there she goes. We wanted this to be one of those like quick recovery cases, especially since we got the needle. We thought it was going to be a quick turnaround, like maybe a week tops, but just out of nowhere, it just got really intense. So I guess kind of like a round 2. Everybody, it's day 9. Feels like someone poked a hole in my lung. Last night was probably one of the worst I've had. I don't know what I'm gonna do. This sucks.
Day 9,
How you feeling?
better. I'm still congested. Still coughing up stuff in my chest, but I'm having an easier time breathing, so I'm wanting to say it's getting better. Last night was hard. Rob was snoring really bad, and apparently I was snoring really bad, and
We just can't breathe.
I just can't breathe at night even with a full humidifier going on and everything.
Oh, fever's gone. You feel okay? 100%? You feel better?
I feel better.
And he's off to the races. Yeah, he feels better. That's great. Hey everybody, day 10. My voice is still shot. I wish I could have gone through this thing a lot more rapidly. Connor's getting better. He's still coughing in. Brittany is almost all the way better. So hopefully, fingers crossed, I will be better soon. So I woke up this morning. This doesn't happen to me almost ever. I just got a terrible bloody nose. Keeps tickling in the back of my throat.
Are you sleeping any better?
Not really. I keep waking up at like 4 in the morning.
And what day is this?
I don't even know. I don't even know what day it is.
It was last Tuesday. Today's Saturday, and
Stupid cough.
so it's been like... So it's a week and 4 days.
My body's just trying to get rid of everything. It wants to get rid of what's inside. Not that I can blame it.
Yep.
Fatigue is big. I've got a sore throat drop, so I'm not talking normal, but every once in a while I just have these horrible coughing bouts like that where it's like I want to cough up a lung.
And it just keeps tickling and itching and aggravating until you cough. So even when you try not to cough, it's almost impossible. That's when it's worst, is when I have those coughing fits. And it pounds your head like right here in the back of the neck. It just hurts.